a word of caution. I know that a lot of people are being affected and afflicted by something quite unknown. Many cannot say what is the origin of these things that we're facing, or what is the cause or the purpose of it in our lives. If there's some of us who are biblical, we think according to what the word has spoken of in these times and what to expect. Beyond that knowing, there should be a strength in faith that we should do as the Lord has instructed us to do in these times, to ensure that His people, His nation, His special, His sheltered ones are protected, that the innocent definitely will have that strong tower of protection around your families. For those who are not religiously inclined and are facing this in a manner that is being told on the mass media and the mass constructivism systems, I would say to you, have faith in that which is unknown to you, and that will be in the remains and in the domains of what we call God consciousness. And you might think it's hard to access, but in these times, these portals open up, and there's a lot of possibility which comes out in these times. And I would implore you to examine your God consciousness, meaning the part of yourself which goes into the knowing of things versus the assumption and the belief of things. And if you approach things from the knowing, I do understand from my experiences that that will manifest a knowing of life. And so, because we are faced with bombardment on so many levels, and to some degree we've expected, some of us, that this might be possible, and now seeing the manifestation of what has really occurred, to some degree we are in this vortex, and we have to centralize ourselves in the vortex so that the angular momentum of the enemy doesn't take us over. We must be centralized so that our Fibonacci can move along its course of divine impetus. And in all the contexts that we're talking about, it means that you should, in this time, harmonize in spirit, in energy, and in frequency. Because it's not just about a social interaction in a physical sense, it's about interacting on the spiritual planes, on the energy fields. The telepathic waves and the telekinetic waves should be higher. You should be vibrating on a state of being that you can actually know and feel what the environment is saying. You should be vibrating in such a context that you and the animals should be on the same frequency, that you should be able to pick up subtle reverberations that the animals are picking up. This shouldn't be such of an out of the context experience for you. It should be a training that you should employ yourselves to get into the God consciousness, the absolute awareness of the one. The center of the vortex, the center of the mandala, the center of the energy frequencies is you. You are, I am, such we are the same. That is why there's no differential. If I can, so can you. And as I have, so have you. So, in all contexts, I know people have been saying, Jerome, you've been putting a lot of information out. I want to remind you of something. Words connote and denote meanings. You must find what is the denotation, not the connotation. Now, when you found the denotation of words, then you will understand the very origin. Nomenclatures distract the very essence of what the mind is and how the mind operates. So therefore, sigil magic wears us down. Our vibrational fields gets lower, and then from a lower vibrational field, we are hallucinogenic and carcinogenic in our behaviors, and as such, it is easy to influence us, and the higher senses of being present in Yahuwah, being present in the now, gets distorted. The now and always isn't present. It is out of alignment, and so we float on a sea of endless uncertainties. And so these uncertainties, when they're at the highest level, are carcinogenic. And therefore, your body slowly begins to break down inside. People will say, oh, that's just an argument. There are many arguments to examine the experiences that we've been having. There's nothing new under the sun, neither am I some genius of statements. But what it is that there are correlations and correlative facts that are happening, that has been spoken of, that is coming together, for the work of ages of darkness is upon us. So, faith-based people, gather your flocks, gather your impetus towards harmonization. For persecution and tribulations are upon us. And also, for people who are nondescript, non-specified, non-specific, I would say to you, specify the indigenous nature of your true self, and that will save you some of the frequency modulations. Amplification of what is truly magnetic, 7.83 hertz, is most divinely necessary, because there's no differential between us and our plane. So if we wear at ourselves, we wear at our plane. And if we wear at the plane, we wear at ourselves. So for magnetic harmony, peace and trueness of being continue to come together in the psychic, in the pathic, and certainly in the empathetic, right? In the cosmic nature of things, so we can be as we were created to be in the original conception, progeny of our source soul being. Holy Kadmun, Nikibu. Blessings, love, and honor. 432, 741, 963, 528. Love, blessings, mercy, and kindness. Yahuwah be praised. Ancestors be honored. First Nation people, be aligned, magnified. In the glory of Christ we pray.